Good morning. How are we doing again today? So we've got another nice sunny day. It's supposed to get a little bit warmer. We're up to almost 50 degrees already, but it did get down to 37, 38 overnight, and there was some patchy frost again. I think my beans will be okay, but I think last night was the last of the frost risk nights. Like, it's supposed to be in the 40s now. So plan for today, Dad's going to do some spraying with the ATV sprayer, doing some of those beans that needed to get sprayed yet. So he's going to work on that. I might help him a little bit. I am going to get this monitor put in our planting tractor. This is that 2020 precision monitor that it's really my buddy's, but he uses it for running meters, and then when he's done with it, he lets me put it on my planter. So we're going to get that put on so that we're ready to go. We're going to check some fields this afternoon. We may run to Berkey later this morning to check our fields down there. And got something to show you guys. So you guys know how we have one piece of equipment that is super frustrating for me, and that I every time I use it, I complain about it. I fixed that problem. We got a new seed tender. Yeah, finally. So this is a Travis HSC 2200. It's not quite complete, but it's here, so I'm not going to complain. 2 boxes side by side. I got the auger in the front here. The biggest difference between this one and our current seed tenders is this one is hydraulic drive, which means that I can reverse the auger and it will clean out, which my direct drive ones now don't do. So that's awesome. So it's got a Honda motor down there with a hydraulic pump, electric start even. Electric start, nice. And yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. So this does have a smart scale, auto shut off scale. However, they can't get the head unit. So it's just got a normal head unit on it for right now because the computer chips can't get them. So they're going to send me that when they get it. The other thing that it is missing is the talc applicator. I did order it with a talc applicator. They can't get the motors to spin the auger for the talc applicator. So again, they're going to ship that to me when they get it. But I said, well, just bring me what you got. I ordered this seed tender the second week of January. And they assured me at the time that I would get it by the first week of March. It's the 13th of May, and I had texted the guy I bought it from back the first week of April to see what was going on with it, and he didn't know, and I kind of sort of got the impression he forgot to order it. I don't know if that's the case or not. He never really said that or owned up to it if he did, but doesn't matter. It's here now. It's better than what I've got. We're going to use that. So what that means is I probably have a seed tender for sale. I bet it'll be sold by the end of the day, so you guys, sorry you missed out again, probably. All right, Dad's getting ready to go spray. He's got his tender tank there loaded up. Chemicals are in the back of the truck. So he's going to take that, drop it at the field. I'm going to pick him up, and then he's going to get his sprayer. That sprayer. All right, there he goes. He's having fun with that. So I'm going to find the forklift right there and get this seed tender, the new one, put inside. And then I think I'm going to go to Berkey and check on our fields down there. Just looking this seed tender over a little bit. It's got some really nice features. One, because it's hydraulic driven auger, they use hydraulics for the cylinder to fold instead of the electric cylinder like on that one. You can fold from right here. There's a switch right here for the auger. See it turning down there. And it goes both directions. Reverse. Forward, which is great. It also comes with this handy dandy little remote control to turn the auger on and off, and you can fold it from right here. So pretty nifty. I like that. Folds down nice. This is cool, this electric start here. I like that. It's going to be really nice once we get it finished and completed, but it'll be nicer than this one. Although if the scale works now, that one won't be so bad. Just the clean out issue. See, that's the big thing, right? So not only does this auger reverse, so it won't spill out at the full joint after you reverse it, but look how easy this one is to get to the clean out. Got this nice slide with a lock on there. It's got a latch, if I can get it right, to hold it open, and I can get a 5-gallon bucket under there. I can get all kinds of stuff versus, you know, the way that this one cleans out. It's got this thing you can pull up to open the door, but you got to crawl clear underneath in there, and it's too low to get a bucket under it, so you got to use a pan like this, which that works really good. But anyway, it's an upgrade. It's better. It is still not what you see some of the other ag YouTubers have. You know, their fancy Unverfirth or J&M seed tenders, speed tenders. We don't have the big hopper box on here that we dump the seed right into, clearly. And that is because I really like being able to set the boxes on there. I don't want to have to dump the box into the tender and then use it all up, because, especially with corn, a lot of times I'm only using part of a box. I'm not using the whole box up. And so this allows me to just put in what I need, why the scale's important, and not have to worry about emptying out the tender and switching varieties and all of that. So it's also a fair bit cheaper than those. We probably save 10 to 15,000, almost double the cost for one of those J&M or Unverfirth or Meridian seed tenders versus what we've got into this one. So it's still a fairly budget-friendly, reasonable model here, but it's a lot better than what our old ones are. Now, as you know, we have two of these. They're just slightly different. This one has the scales on it. The other one does not. This one's got a little bit bigger auger than the other one. So we'll probably end up getting rid of the other one, the one that's down in my seed warehouse, because of the auger being a little bit smaller and this one having the scales. So we'll use this for beans from now on and probably sell that other one. These are pretty cheap, reasonable models to start with, and so you know, I don't know how much it's worth. I gotta do a little research and figuring. Those ADS tenders, the ones that we've had, they're much better tenders for soybeans than they are for corn, and the reason is because of that spilling issue, right? So the beans roll, and they will roll down that auger, and you don't spill them as bad as the corn, because the corn doesn't roll, and so it comes spilling out when you start to fold. So for somebody that needed a seed tender and was doing soybeans, it's a really good option, good fit. All right, it is time to start doing a little bit of scouting. I can just see, looking across this field, that there's just a little damp spot right there, and it's not quite ready yet, but we're getting closer. So we're gonna make a trip to Berkey, check out those fields. We had just a little bit less rain there over the Sunday when we got that last 9/10 here. We had 3/4 of an inch or so there, so it's possible it's a little bit drier. Now that ground tends to dry a little slower, so I don't know. I'm curious to see if anybody's working between here and there and what it looks like. Really what I'm hoping to find out is we can go down there in 2 or 3 days. If we could go down there Saturday or Sunday and plant the corn, get that done, I would be thrilled. And if we could get our disc down there and work the corn stalks and get those done so that they can be planted the next time it gets dry enough, that would be awesome. I've got a little bit fuller season corn going down there, and so I want to get it planted. And that's kind of my priority right now, is let's try and get the full season corn planted. I've got a fair amount of 110-day corn yet, a little bit of 111-day corn, and then we start working earlier from there. But if we get rained out for another week and it gets to be the last week of May, all of a sudden 110-day corn is really pushing it, and I don't know that I want to do that. So I don't want to have to trade all these boxes out and start switching varieties, so let's get this stuff in the ground. First we get lunch. Okay, here's one of the fields that we have of corn stalks down here that were disked last fall. Need to be disked again before they can be planted. Initial reaction, it's a little bit wetter than I was hoping to see. Right here it doesn't look too bad, but there is a damp spot up there on the ends. And this ground down here is very different from our stuff back at Waldron. Higher clay content here. It tends to dry off on top and kind of seal over, and and then it takes a longer time for the dirt underneath it to dry out. And our ground at Waldron will wick the moisture up so we can be dry on top in the afternoon. The next morning it'll be damp again, and it helps bring that moisture up and dry it out. This stuff doesn't do that as much. You get this crust and that nice dry layer right there, and that stuff's okay, but this one from underneath is a little gooey. Actually, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. And 2 days away might not be that far off here, but it's not ready today. So I'm just going to walk a little bit here and check this field, and we're going to go check a couple other ones around here too. There's a little bit more sand in this ground right here, so it's a little bit more forgiving. It's cold. Man, that dirt is cold. It's actually better than I would have thought. You can see right here that it's damp on top, and it's not horrible. One other thing that I'm looking for here is weed control and how that looks. There are a few little weeds out here, but relatively clean. Now, in that far corner and that corner, there's some weeds along the end rows and stuff. Those are the really sandy spots in the field, and we get a little bit more weed pressure there. It's all small stuff, shouldn't be too big of a problem. We'll take it out with that disc, especially if we can get on it in the next couple of days. And then our herbicide after we plant will keep stuff from coming back. Okay, this is one of the fields that's going to get planted to corn. Right in this corner and along these ends, there's a little bit of damp spot here, but it's not too bad. But dang, look how soft it is. Holy cow, it's gooey underneath. Wow. Can you imagine driving through that with a tractor and how much it's going to squish? I'll walk out here a little bit and dig, but it's going to have to firm up quite a bit. Whew. Yeah, this stuff is, I can squeeze the water out of it. It's pretty moist under there, so gonna be at least 2 days, maybe Sunday we'll get down here. I'm just amazed at how soft it is, and my footprints are sinking in. So we're gonna end up with about 280-ish acres of corn planted down here at Berkey. If you're new or you don't quite understand the layout, so my dad grew up at the home farm right over there. We're about 35 miles east of where we started this morning, and we've got around 600 acres in this general area. So we kind of have two separate farming locations, not much in between them. And well, I don't want to come down here and do part of it and then have to go back and come back down here. And I can do it in a day. It's a long day, but I can do it. So we're going to wait for it all to be ready, come down here and plant all 280 acres of corn in one day and be done. And then we'll go back and keep working back at Waldron. But it's all got to be ready, and it isn't there yet. I forgot my shovel, but we're right behind our home farm here. There's our 8300 and our little field cultivator. Just walking out here. We got a wet spot there. The rest of the field is dry and looks pretty good, but it is still soft. I'm still sinking in. Yeah, definitely not ready, but this is encouraging. I don't know. We'll see. Half of the point with this trip was just to see where we're at, and I knew it wasn't going to be ready today or tomorrow, but we thought we got to figure out where we're at and then come back every couple of days to take a look at stuff and see how it's drying out. I would really like to get this done this weekend because, like I said, I've got some full season corn going down here, 110-day stuff that needs to get put in the ground sooner rather than later. So that's what I'm hoping for. And if it's got to be Sunday, I'll do it on Sunday. But I was hoping Saturday we could come down here. We'll see. Guys, want to take the old Farmall A for a spin? So this was my great-grandpa's tractor, I guess. I don't know. Michael Jack got it running here a couple of years ago. Farmall A. And I've never actually really driven it too much, but it's got a mower deck on it. The thing is, this thing has got a 60-inch deck on it, and it's like 12 horsepower. Like our zero turn is like 25 or 30 horsepower, 27 horsepower for the same size deck. So it's a little lacking in the power department, but Let's go for a drive. 1. Oh, there's no power steering. Needs a hood. Throttle. Cool. So if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I've got a Farmall F12 stashed in the corner of our shop there that was my grandpa's, great-grandpa's on my mom's side. The other side from this one. This one's on my dad's side. And the goal is to get it up and running at some point. And the other day when I needed a project, a few of you suggested that. I probably should be working on it. It's just hasn't gotten done. But it's a long-term deal. It's sitting there. I know I got that to work on at some point. So let's see if I can figure this mower out. Looks like we lower our deck right here. And let's see, we're gonna leave it in 1. That's the start. Give her some throttle. Not gonna stay. And PTO, is that this? Nope. Let's see. Gotta be a PTO lever on here somewhere. Oh, maybe it is, and I got the clutch in. Nope. It is that lever. I just pushed it the wrong way. And when I let the clutch out, the belt starts moving. Oh, look at that. We're gonna knock down some dandelions. Now, if this isn't just the coolest thing I've done all day, I don't know what is. All right, that was fun, but that was enough. It would take forever to mow your whole lawn with that thing. All right, we got a couple more fields to check. Make a quick walk through the barn here. We don't have much equipment stored down here, but we have a bean head and a corn head and a semi. And I think there's a generator over there. So just checking everything out, making sure it all looks like it's supposed to, and then we'll go check a couple more fields and head back to Waldron. Well, here's some of our other fields. We got the one across the road, and then these two here. We actually farmed the full mile straight through right here, but we split them into 2 fields because you can't go all the way through with the combine anyway. So they're about the same as those first field of corn stalks that we looked at. There's a little water sitting over there in the corner. Jack's down here picking up some brush and stuff. But the ground on top, the top inch and a half is good. It's probably perfect. It's just super gooey underneath that. So we'll walk out here. I'll dig a hole and show you what I'm talking about. All right. So if I carefully pull this back here, see this chunk here, the top of it's nice and dry. We've got that crust on there. That breaks apart really nice. That would plant no problem. The issue is when you get this piece of dirt, and instead of breaking apart, it mushes. And that one's not as bad as some of it has been. This one here. It's not completely horrible, but we're not there yet. So my current thought is 2 or 3 days of that beating down on this, some heat. We don't have any wind, which would be the only thing that would make this a little better if we had a little wind to go with it. But that'll get stuff drying out here, keep cooking this moisture out of the ground, and I think in Sunday we're gonna end up down here. Okay, I made it back from Berkey. Check it out, we got a package. It's my stuff that I sent to Ag Express like 2-3 weeks ago. I'm surprised it took so long. But they fixed these motors, valve motors, control motors for the sprayer. And that monitor, we're gonna open that up. There was probably a row clutch in here. Phil must have taken that already. Sweet. So this monitor is for that Century sprayer that we got, and the LCD screen wasn't working on it. So they fixed that up and sent it back to me. Cool. So we'll try that later. I'm not worried about it right now. I wanted to get this monitor mounted in the tractor, but I can't find the mounting bracket for it. So I'm going to go look again. I thought it went with it when my buddy took it to use it on his stuff, but he says he doesn't have it. So I'm going to look around here again and see if I do. And if not, we'll figure something else out and get it put in there. Then we're going to go scout some fields up here. Okay, well, I'm striking out here. I can't find that mount. I also can't find the gator. And I don't know where it's at. Dad's not here. Phil's not here. So one of them could have took it, but I saw Phil leave with his pickup truck, so that's not it. And Dad was spraying. He had the black truck and the ATV. How did he take the gator too? Let's see if my mom knows anything. She's out here spraying weeds. Turns out Mom didn't know either, so we'll take the pickup. I'm gonna go find Dad where he's spraying. He should be about done. See if he's got the gator. And we'll check some fields while we're over there, because that's one of the next ones that I'm hoping is ready. Or one of the first ones, I guess, where he's working. Spraying volunteer wheat. Well, let's see what this looks like. You can see it's all dry on top. There's not any wet spots like we saw down to Berkey there this morning. But like I said, this ground tends to wick the moisture up. It dries out on top in the afternoon. In the morning, it'll be a little gooey again. Looks a little bit wet. It's not terrible. As fast as it's drying today, this might go tomorrow afternoon. Maybe after we're done with the plot, we could think about coming here. Maybe. I don't know. The criteria for dry enough to plant or not has changed since the last time we were in the field. We have what I call April dry, May dry, and good enough for June. Because in April we can be a little bit more picky because we've got time. In May, you don't want to wreck stuff, so you wait and be patient, but at the same time you got to get it done, so you go. And in June, when you can get across the ground without getting stuck or breaking stuff, it's time to get it done, and you just go and you don't worry about it. So we're kind of in that in between. I'm not going to wait for it and be quite as picky as I was back in April, but we're not going to just go and wreck it just because we can get across the field, you know. So because I could get across that now, but it's not dry enough to be out there planting. Here, we'll watch Dad for a second. He's just spraying this volunteer wheat. I don't even know if he's using the whole boom. Maybe he is. But the wheat is kind of in rows there because of it's the windrows from the straw from when we combined the wheat last summer. So each one of those is basically a combine pass, and he's just going across them and killing that volunteer wheat off. I have located the gator. It's back there. You know what else I found is missing back there? Phil's old Dodge pickup that's been sitting there for a year and a half. He must have hauled it out to the scrapyard or something because it's gone. So I assume he took the gator back there to get it. So we're gonna walk back there. While walking, we can scout our corn a little bit. See what it looks like. It's all coming up, starting to unleaf. Got a little better color today. We're getting some green back to it. That's good. Can roll it real nice. Looks great. Stand looks pretty good. Missing one here. But most of them are there. There's another one missing actually. But yeah, I'm happy with this. For what this corn's been through with the snow on it and the cold weather. Yep, looks good. Planted 18th of April, so I don't know. Today's the 13th of May. It's been almost a month. It's about time it starts growing. All right, I got the gator. Grabbed my shovel. The plumbers are done down here at the house for the day, so let's go see what they got accomplished, and then we'll go scout some fields. Well, they came this morning and finished this drain run, got that tied in, and then obviously got all the foam board put down, finished it in the basement and in the garage here, and laid the wire mesh out, and they got some radiant tubes put down. So the black pipe is our radiant floor heat. If you're not familiar with that system, basically we pump hot water through those tubes, and it heats the concrete slab up, and therefore heating the room. So they're on foot spacings. There's 2 loops here in the garage. There's going to be 5 or 6, I think, in the basement. They've got one loop done over there in that corner. That's where the bedrooms, or potential future bedrooms, eventually maybe sort of, are going to go. There's the bathroom there, so they went through there. They kind of spray painted out where most of the walls are, at least in theory, going to go. But all of that is sort of subject to change, except for where the location of the bathroom is because, well, the plumbing. But everything else was just, yeah, this is, I think, how we're going to do it, but it's not going to happen right now. They're not finishing the basement. They're leaving it unfinished, and that's something that I will work on in the future. So anyway, we've got our manifold over there. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 runs for the basement floor heat. There's another one right over here for the garage runs, and then they got those buried in a tube, insulated, that goes underneath our front porch here. But yeah, so tomorrow they'll come back and finish the tubing runs, and then I believe the plumbers are done and we are ready for concrete, which I hear is going to happen next week. Hopefully like Monday or Tuesday. I don't think the concrete guys have a whole lot they need to do to get ready to pour. The basement is pretty much done. When they're done with the tubing, you just put the concrete in, snap some chalk lines so you got your height right, and go. The garage, they'll have to put some boards for forms across these doorways for the cap. So they're going to pour 4 inches on top of the concrete that's there for the doorways and cap them. So but that should be pretty quick, easy thing to do. Looks great. Progress. Lots of progress this week. So this here is kind of the back of the field where the bean plot is going to go, right behind my seed warehouse here. And we're in the dip, the low ground. So I just wanted to stick a shovel in here and see how bad this spot is. And it's not great. But it is drying, and it's warming up. The soil's not as cold as the stuff to Berkey was this morning, and whether that's just because it's warmed up today or what, but not particularly great, but drying rapidly. So question is, will that be ready by, say, 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon? Another 24 hours, how much will it dry? Some. Quite a bit, actually. It might be, and it's the low spot, so you know, the higher ground is probably already okay. So the deeper, yeah, no, that's better. So we just went from the black dirt to the top of the ridge here, and I would plant this today. So that's good. Yeah, we could plant this tomorrow. So I came to another field that's fit up and ready to go. We got to get that rock. I expected this to be a little wet. It's not. Like, I could plant this one right now. We're gonna look at a couple other spots. Maybe this one's ready to go. I did not expect that. Okay, this dip right here is one of the wetter spots on this farm. If this shovel comes back and I think I'm good, we're going to get the planter. Oh, one more day. Just a little gooey. Yep. Okay, that'll slow me down. I checked 2 or 3 other spots, and I was just about ready to pull the trigger on this one, but that one's too wet, so we're gonna plant this one tomorrow. Okay, so the plan for tomorrow is to plant the corn plot out here. We may or may not do the soybean plot tomorrow. Just depends on the time and how antsy I am to get moving on the rest of the corn. So I'm gonna spend the rest of the day here getting the corn planter ready to go, because I'm not going to the field that I was hoping to go to next. I've got to get the seed that's in the boxes, which there's not much, but I got to get it out and get it cleaned out. We're gonna have to put some of a different variety in to plant around the plot, the end rows and borders and stuff like that, and then we can do our plot from there and figure out after that. So I'm gonna get this monitor mounted. I never did find my bracket, so I'm going to steal the one that I use for the iPad up here. It uses the same, the mount piece in the back, and then we'll figure out. This has got multiple ways to mount it. This does not, so we'll figure it out. Okay, so I took that mount off up there. I stole the bracket and I attached it to my accessory rail bar there. Got this one put up. It all seems to be working like it's supposed to, I think. We need to clear some acres out of there. Reset. Yes. Reset. Yes. We'll have to set up all the hybrids and all that stuff, and clearly the date is not set up. I wonder if I don't have GPS into it, something. I wonder if there's another plug that I need plugged in on the back there, maybe. Let's see what I got. But anyway, I want to try and find something to mount that iPad on. The date and time probably has something to do with the fact that I'm in a barn and I don't have a GPS signal here. Oh, smarter than what you're working on sometimes. I'm not. Well, I've kind of got two options here. I've got that mount, which lines up with these outer holes that you guys can't really see because it's too dark up here. And I've got this mount, and those holes line up with the inner circle of holes, or some of them do. The problem is the other end. This doesn't mount to my tractor, and it doesn't mount to that accessory rail very good, so I need a different ball for that. I might have to keep looking or make something. Okay, I have found a solution. So I mounted that one to the back there. It's got this ram mount, so it's got this piece and it's threaded and it squeezes these balls and it gives you your adjustment. And I had this one that mounts to the same thing that those monitors mount to. And so I took that piece from one of those monitor mounts and I'm going to bolt that up there. So I've got all kinds of adjustment and flexibility, more than I need, but it'll hold it, won't it? There. Might be a little wiggly, but it gets me pretty close to me, or gets it pretty close to me. I can always sort of turn this down or manipulate them to try and push it back a little bit, but we'll wait till we get the iPad in there. That'll work. That'll work. Here's our cord for the iPad, so that's all there. Yeah, I think we're set up monitor-wise. Everything is good to go. I've got my key fob for my fertilizer valve. Sweet. Okay, well, I got that planter basically ready to go. I got the seed out of it. I got the monitors all ready. So if we're going to plant plots tomorrow, I do unhook the tank for doing plots because it makes it a lot easier to walk back and forth, cleaning out all that stuff. I'll show you the process as we get to it tomorrow. Wade, my agronomist, is supposed to be here. He said he was going to be here at 8. I told him, you don't have to be here at 8. I'm not going to be ready at 8. So, but we're going to get here in the morning and get stuff ready and go and do it. And, yeah, that's exciting. Be back in the planter. So, I guess that's all. I mean, I'm going home, so we'll talk to you guys again tomorrow. There was something else I was going to tell you. I forgot what it was, so I'll tell you tomorrow. But have a good night. Thanks for watching. See ya. Bye. Oh, yeah, I remember. The grain markets crashed today. Corn was down 40, and they were down yesterday. I think 2 or 3 days ago I said something to Phil about, hey, maybe we should sell another 10,000 of corn, new crop, and we're down about 70 cents since then. Oh well, they'll be back. Don't worry, it'll come back.